Yo guys, Jinsk here, and today I'm gonna talk about the changes that are coming to World of Warcraft or the changes that were made. And the first one I want to talk, it's obviously the TBC change for Honor, which is just amazing. Right now, as you can see, I'm AFKing in this tower, and the reason is because there's a quest in Terakar where you can get 1k honor. It doesn't show here, but if you complete this and you grab one of the towers, you get 1k honor. And yeah, the honor was changed. All PvP items got their marks halved in terms of cost. So instead of 40 Eye of the Storm for boots, for example, you buy them by 20. You buy them with the 20 marks, which means those marks will be used to trade for honor. And that quest, which is for honor, I think it's doubled as well, so it gives you 624 or 23 honor. So pretty much the grind was nerfed by 50%, kind of. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect still, but from my point of view, like it's the perfect balance because you still need to do BGs, of course, which is it was a thing until Legion, kind of, or until WODs. And in a few days, I got the neck, the bracers, and the feet. I'm gonna get the belt and the ring later. Now this was legit only from Wednesday, not really playing that much because I've been busy with work and with arenas, but it's an amazing change. So in if you just go ham, you get all the offset pieces for season 3 in a week at least. Now, this was the first change that happened in World of Warcraft, which I wanted to talk about. It's an amazing change, so you can actually have an alt now and keep up with the alt in terms of gear. You don't need to use the last season offset pieces, which many players were using, myself including, with alts. There you go. I got the quest done. Now you're gonna see how much it gives. But yeah, there's another two changes that are coming. One to retail, and other to both TBC, to classic and to retail. So I want to talk about the boosting. I don't think the change is enough, even though it's a really good change. And now you're gonna see the honor. You see 943 honor for one quest. Now, about the boosting, I never minded boosting. I mean, until TBC Classic, where all the degenerates made a lot of gold with it. Now, I'm not saying degenerates as people shouldn't boost, of course. Like you have one of the biggest boosters. Um, I'm not gonna name names, so one of the biggest boosters. It's actually probably my favorite streamer, but I think there's something about people actually achieving stuff for themselves in the game, and I think when you look at the ladder, and if you go look at season 1 and season 2 ladders, you're gonna see that in trees, for example, in Europe, like at least 10 teams per season are being boosted, which means 30 players are not getting gladiator because these 10 players are, since there's the titles are given by teams, not really your current rating or personal rating. So I think it's a good change in terms of organizations, but I think they should go further because now you have a lot of gray areas. Like, okay, a guild it's not an organization, but they can function as one, right? So, what you do you ban the guilds? It's a very gray area, which I think Blizzard should have just straight up remove any type of boosting for gold or real money. And the thing is, you can say that boosting for gold has no harm, but the truth is, if you're buying a boost, you're not gonna farm for the gold. You're gonna buy the gold in one of the websites, right? So by buying the gold, you're not really doing a direct real money transaction with the booster, but you kind of are, because you need to buy the gold from a third party website and then you give them the gold. So it's a very gray area, which I would rather them to just ban boosting in any type of form, unless it's between friends, of course, and there's no transaction involved, like it was in the day. But people were boosting friends in Scarlet Monastery, right? Their friends. So that's a good change as well. The boosting part, I never liked boosting, even when I was doing boosting back in the original TBC. I never liked the idea of removing certain players from titles because I was boosting other players that legit didn't know how to play, kind of. But yeah, that's I don't mind coaching though. Coaching it's different, but again, it's a very gray area. But I think coaching it's kind of fine if it's done with VODs and all of that, and if you play with the guy and you're just coaching. But again, it's a very gray area, because if you're coaching, you're also boosting at the same time. It's very hard to differentiate the two of them. And the third change that is coming to now to retail is the faction cross faction gameplay, and I think it's an amazing change. I think it should have been done like years ago. It never really made sense in terms of lore, because and this is for the big lore guys that are now like against this kind of change, which makes no sense. Because if you know the story of Varian Rin, the king of the Horde, the father of Anduin, then you know he was in Arena. It's actually quite a nice story that I saw from Noble many years back. And Varian Rin was in an arena team, a 3v3 arena team, and he had a Night Elf Druid, and he had Valira Sanguinar, which is a Blood Elf, which is Hordes. So even from a lore perspective, Arena, for example, doesn't really hurt the lore, because this was done years ago, right? So I don't get why people are so upset with the change. But overall, I think most people should be happy. Now you can play with friends, you can be whatever race you want to be, instead of being a race just to play with a specific friend. I think it's an amazing change. I still won't play retail, because my problem with retail is just overall class design and class tuning and the lack of skill involved. Of course, you have some skill in knowing what to press, when to press, and all of that. It's all game knowledge, but at least it's a good sign for the upcoming expansion, which I hope that actually takes care of class design, because the class design is completely horrific in retail for years now, since Legion at least. And yeah, that's about it, guys. We exciting news for everyone, for classic players, for retail players. It's a really good day to be a WoW player, which is very rare, or has been very rare the past few years. I'm also hoping for an announcement of Wrath of the Lich King. It should be any month now. I think TBC will end towards the end of this year, or at the very start of the next one. So they will announce Wrath of the Lich King very soon, I would hope. If not, they will announce it at least after the summer. But yeah, it's a great time to be a WoW player. I think if you play TBC, you should be happy with the honor changes and with the boosting changes. If you're a retail player, also happy with the boosting changes and with the cross-faction gameplay. I just really hope the next expansion it's good in terms of class design, and it brings some of the Wrath of the Lich King, which is gonna be the next classic game, obviously. It brings some of the Wrath of the Lich King class design into retail, because I think it's the better design, it's the best design ever in terms of overall, in terms of classes. And I do hope that they bring the class design of Wrath of the Lich King to retail, but I highly doubt it. They seem somewhat very stubborn in terms of class design. I don't know why. Like, they should make classes fun to play. You shouldn't you shouldn't only do damage in certain windows. I think that's very clear, but they haven't changed that, and it has been the same for since Legion, like I said. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Sorry, thanks for watching the video, and peace.